He got hit.
Let's go. Let's go. You already know what it is, man. Space Talk time. Yours truly. And feeling good tonight, obviously. The good guys taking care of business. Beating those Baltimore Ratbirds the way that we like to see it, 16-13 on the road in prime time. Moving to 8-8 on the year. Those playoff hopes, ladies and gentlemen, are still very much alive, baby. Don't you love it? I mean, come on, man. It's one of them nights, baby. Yeah, it's still the night, man. That's how you start the new year off. And Happy New Year to each and every one of y'all. But you know how we do when we start this thing out, man. On any Space Talk, tap in. So, let me know where you are tuning in from in the chat. That way I give you those big boy shout outs to start the day's show off the right way. And also hit the like button on the front end, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Alrighty. Let's see what we tapping in at. Okay, DJ Lundy tuning in from the 757. You know, that's Norfolk VA, a.k.a. The Crib. Then after that, man, I gotta holler at Lee Everett tuning in from the 408 The Bay. Shout out Soviet Bear, the 330 Canton in the building. And I got the homie Jerome tuning in all the way from the 253 Washington out there on that west side. Major love. We got the homie Drew Komrosky tuning in from the 406, the Big Sky State. Major love. And Rod Young, Montreal, Canada, in his house. Major love. Come on, baby. Let's keep it rolling. Who else we got tapped in with us tonight, man? I see Mike Mioli tuning in from the 610. Then we got the homie Robert Bennett tuning in from the 609, Trenton, New Jersey. Major respect. Got the homie Devin tuning in from the 619, San Diego. Oh, baby, I love it. Let's go. OG Bobby Blend. Shout out to the OG Bobby Blends, by the way, man. Tuning in from Arizona. I like it. And then I'm going to end it with the homie King Toady tuning in from the 901, Memphis, Tennessee. Major respect. And I see we nice and thick in here tonight, man. So like I said, once again, hit that like button and let's talk about what we saw tonight. Because man, I felt like them boys really started to grow up, man. I mean, first off, we already know what this matchup was from a physicality standpoint, because we knew how it was last time, and we knew that was the hype, that was all the talk surrounding this game, man. Could the Steelers match that physicality and stop the run that, ultimately did them in last time they played them? Over 200 yards on the ground. We obviously talked about the turnovers that we had on offense last time. Could we avoid those 3 red zone interceptions? And man, when you talk about this game, I mean, across the board, I thought the intensity from the start of this thing was where we wanted it to be, offensively and defensively. Man, I thought when you talk about how Najee was running, regardless of when we get to like his numbers and his actual impact on the game, I just thought initially, though, man, he was running like he was pissed off. Every time he got up, he had something to say. He has some type of way to react to people, and I just liked that energy from him, man. I thought 30 was also running like that, man, in terms of Jaylen Warren. Both of those guys came out early with that nastiness in terms of how they were running the ball. I thought George Pickens was really setting the tone out there early, man. He caught a nice pass. Man, obviously, Kenny, we're gonna talk about Kenny. We're going to talk about KPA. But before we get to him, just talking about the demeanor of this team, man. I thought, like I said, from Najee and Jalen setting the tone early, then George Pickens, he had a nice catch on 21 Stevens. And when he got up and walked over him, I don't know if everybody peeked it, but he definitely, big boy, walked over him, man. And when Stevens ain't get up and do anything about it, I said, okay, I like this energy right now, man. I like this mindset, because that's not how we were acting the first time we played them dudes, man. But it was good to see them young guys like that really stepping up and really just playing with that pissed off demeanor. Then when you take it to the defensive side of the ball, man, can we holler about 93 real quick? the game start, the first 3 players, I'm like, bro, this dude's out here. I don't know where he going, but he hitting something every single time. And I just thought that it was one of those just, we're setting the tone. We're letting you and everybody around here know we are going to be physical tonight. And man, that's what you want to see. Like, that to me was just beautiful, man. I thought, in terms of the intensity that we played with, in terms of the physicality and that nastiness for 4 quarters, we needed it. Through the adversity, the good, the bad, we never turned down. And that's, in these type of games, man, you got to operate like that. That has to be the mentality, man. So, like I said, man, I was loving seeing that, man. And then talking about the quarterback, man, in terms of his toughness, man, Kenny got hit a couple of times tonight. But, man, you talk about him just staying cool, staying calm, the moxie. Talk about him growing up. Throws that he wasn't making in the first half of the season, we saw him making them throws tonight, those anticipating throws, right? When you talk about, hey, it's not open with your eyes right now, but if you put that ball there and trust that guy's going to make that play. Man, we saw that multiple times tonight. I thought it was a heck of a job by Kenny, man, in that sense, man, just in the sense of anticipating, because that was that next stage for him. And I thought that he did an awesome job of that. I thought his toughness was on display, man, because like I said, he took some shots. That one from Kyle Hamilton, man, he got blasted. But to see him get up like it was nothing, man, stay right in the fight, man. Obviously, we had George Pickens on the podcast. If you haven't checked that interview out, you definitely want to check that out. But even when George was talking about him, he was like, man, Kenny got that. He got that dog. He willing to fight. Like, it don't matter what the game is like. He's never going to turn it down. And I thought we really saw that tonight, especially that second opportunity they had around that 6-minute mark when they got the ball back. But no, I was definitely loving that, man, just in terms of him just anticipating throws. And then, I mean, you talk about that game-winning drive. This is back-to-back weeks now that we've seen KP8 put together some stuff like this, man, where it's like, yo, I got to have it. We need points, no excuses. My man was beautiful, man. Now, like I said, it wasn't always perfect, but it was like, man, to just see how he could overcome the different elements, man, whether it was a protection thing, whether it was a coverage thing, whether it was just him just trying to figure it out, you know what I mean? But either way, I thought that his confidence and his just cool-headedness through all of that, man, was highly beneficial for this team. And then obviously, man, to see Najee to get his get back, I thought, man, it was dope to see Najee and KP8 make the play that they did to win the game on Roquan, because if you think about it, in that first matchup, who was the guy who set it off with the interceptions? It was Roquan. Remember, he had the first pick in the red zone, then Patrick Queen, and then after that, the safety had the third pick. So to see them come back around this thing now, KP8 out there, and for the people that made the conversation, would it be different with Kenny? Well, we saw it. He didn't turn the ball over. That was the difference. And to see him be able to go ahead and then make that throw on the guy that got the pick last time, and it being to Najee, the guy that has been under fire at times this season because of questioning, how effective he was running. Was he fully healthy? Was he weighing too much? All these different things, man. It was just good to see both of those guys be able to connect and it be on that defender at that moment in the game. I just thought, man, it was just a dope scenario, man, across the board. And this is the thing too, man, when you're talking about this team, and we were talking about how they have to keep growing, how they have to keep learning. And we said that progression is not always linear, but these are some of those milestones that we're trying to see them check off. That's what we saw tonight, man, what they were able to do offensively and defensively and even on special teams. Think about that, man. Boz missed a field goal at one point tonight, man. But then for him to come back and be money, we had a bad kickoff return that we let up, right? But then to see Presley Harvin come back with a big punt, man. All those different things, man, taking place, I thought was just a good, just showing of how this team has grown and why, a lot of us, I don't know if all of us, but I know it's a good amount of us that still do believe in this squad. And this is why, because the talent has been there. It was just young. And now you're starting to see the continuity. You're starting to see them trust each other. I mean, I don't know if y'all want to shout it out, but the jet sweep again was on fire tonight. Hello. All right, Matt Canada. All right, man. All right. I love the jet sweep now. You done got me to say I love the jet sweep. The jet sweep was cooking once again tonight. And for all those podcast bingo cards out there, the Derek Watt dive play did hit. Just saying, okay? When the dive play hits, we win. Okay, it's no coincidence. When it didn't hit last time, we lost. It hit this time, we got the dub. That's all I'm saying. So shout out to the Matt Canadas of the world. Shout out to the Derek Watts and shout out to the Jet Sweep, baby. All right, that's just how I'm feeling right now. Okay, I'm just saying. My man, he said, I heard the reports. Y'all want to leak some info, talk about my job gone? Okay, all right, watch me cook. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Okay, we ain't gotta like it, but we gotta respect it. Okay, that's just what it is, though. So, like I said, those are kind of like my initial things with this thing. And then obviously, man, when we talk about some of the guys that I thought stood out also that I did not mention just at the beginning of this thing, I thought Pat Freiermuth, man. I thought that he was one of those really good players all night. Now, still, had a couple of those ones where you're looking here like, man, could he have caught that? But as a whole, I thought that, he just made some nice combat catches, kept the sticks moving, and just continuing to be that tight end that we think he's capable of being, an elite guy at this level. And as he continues to grow like that, man, I think that he's just going to continue to be even more of a weapon, more of an X factor. So it was good to see, what he was able to do. Deontay, he still had one of them games where it was like, man, if that catch on the sideline was a completion, man, it's filthy. But instead, it ends up being an incompletion. Didn't get that second foot down. But as a whole, man, like I said, I thought that those guys, man, they just played with the right type of energy, the right type of mentality tonight. And then on defense, man, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about Minkah and we talk about his effect, his impact on the game, the physicality, because he was also out there trying to knock people out, right? You talk about just his savviness. How many times did we see passes from Tyler Huntley that were errant and he was almost getting there until what? He finally was able to finish that thing off. But that's what Minkah does. And what we say, man, when we talked about the 5-star matchups, when we talked about the strengths and weaknesses or advantages, disadvantages in this game, we said, man, Tyler Huntley, he hadn't been turning the ball over. But he was one of those guys that, man, you could force him into a turnover. When he throws the ball, it's not the most accurate. He doesn't do a good job of looking off the defenders and things like that. And tonight also showed that Minkah was actually able to capitalize on that, man. I thought that was beautiful to see from him as well. Man, trying to think who else was doing anything tonight, man. It was a ton out there, man. TJ getting back looking healthy again. It was good to see him and his burst also, because he's one of those dudes that, man, when he is on, he is a game wrecker, a game changer. Obviously, the reigning defensive player of the year for a reason. And his impact was really showing, man. I thought his get off was back looking like how he normally does. I thought his conditioning was a lot better, and that was why he was able to still keep that motor going at times when he was getting chipped, tight end blocking them, they pulling guys, and he's still finding a way to hit the quarterback. That's TJ Watt, ladies and gentlemen, and you love to see that. When he is healthy, that's what he is capable of night in and night out, man. So, like I said, it was good to see him back in the saddle, man, getting back to doing what he does. And I know y'all don't like that, but I got to shout out these other two guys as well. Robert Spillane, Terrell Edmonds. Hello. Okay, I know they're on my all-star team. I know y'all don't all like them like that. They're Mr. Fundamentals. When you talk Edmonds, man, he had a major PBU where he hits the tight end, man, that caused that incompletion. And when you talk about Spillane, man, that dude's all over the place in that box making tackles, man. Both of them dudes, those are my fundamental guys right there. They don't get a lot of love, but they keep making plays. So shout out to both of my guys right there as well, man. Edmonds and Spillane. You ain't got to like it, but you got to respect them. That's all I'm saying, baby, all right? So, with that being said, man, that was my initial reaction to this thing, man. But I see we got some supers coming in here, some questions, man. So we definitely going to tap into that. And, yeah, man, let's get it going. So hit that like button once again. I'm going to hit me a little drink. And after that, we get this thing going. All right, we got Mike Lang. Mike Lang says, Moats, I'm leaving the game. I'm on 1,000. I'm singing, ooh, 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 ooh. The Ravens fans not joining in. LOL. I'll talk X's and O's with you later, my boy. Moats, you got to let me call in and tell you what these Raven fans are saying. Mike Lane, man, I'm gonna have to holler at you, man. I'm gonna have to hear from you, baby, because yeah, if you down in enemy lines, man, I know they talking spicy spice. They feelings are probably big hurt, they probably big mad. But hey, such is life when you a rat bird lover. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Ooh, ooh. Let's get it. Shout out to my dog, Mike Lane, though, baby. Farron Bradford, he says 8 is him. 22 is him. 90 is him. 39 is him. Let's freaking go. And you are absolutely right. Every single player that you named right there, man, did their thing tonight, man. like when we talk Kenny, man, Kenny was on one. Like I said, it wasn't the most productive in terms of statisticals and stuff like that. When we're talking about intangible growth, when you're talking about looking for certain characteristics in a quarterback, a franchise caliber quarterback, or just a QB1, certain things you want to see. You want to see, can you execute under pressure? When 3 quarters haven't been beautiful, but we got to have a drive to score a touchdown in a hostile environment that hadn't given up a touchdown in how many quarters on the road, can you get it done? That's what he did. So it's like, man, if you want to critique a throw, if you want to critique a this or that, man, critique that over there. Because to me, that's what this is about, man. It's about, can you get the job done when it matters the most? And it was dope to see him do that, man. And then 22, honestly, man, I haven't seen 22 run like that. I don't know. I'm trying to think as a Steeler, bro. Like, he was really putting that thing on him, man. Obviously, first time this season crossing the century mark. And then even just to see what he was reflecting in terms of yards per carry, 22 touches, 22 carries, 111 yards, average 5 yards a touch, man. That is massive. Najee hadn't been doing anything like that realistically this season, man. So to see him be able to respond like that in this type of game where we knew they were going to try to match that physicality. We knew they were going to try to smash that run. And it was good to see Najee be able to just turn them down every single time, running through them, running around them, and even running over them sometimes, man. So definitely dope to see that, man. All right. The homie Luca says, tell brother TG to leave our running back alone. We need Najee. Let's go. I was texting the homie TG during the game. He did say he was changing a little bit. He was like, yo, he liked what he's seen from Najee. He just still don't like the long-term element of it. And if we're talking long-term, that's different. But you can't move on front of that cat right now, man, because that's what he's capable of, man. All right? So, shout out to the homie Najee right there, man, because now he definitely was putting on tonight, man. So, I love what I've seen from him right there. All right, Vincent Martinez. From the 707, question is, does TG still want to trade Najee? He told me no. But he said it like this. His whole issue goes back to the longevity part. I'm telling him I don't care about the longevity, man, because look, when we drafted him, we knew what it was. This isn't going to be a 10-plus year thing, man. If we can get 5 out, you great. But I need 4 to 3.5 of just like headbutt, run through physical, and just give me the best. And whatever happens after that, happens after that. That's just how I look at it. But I think for him, he's more big picture business. Like, yo, man, y'all. This ain't gonna last that long. You want to go that route? You can miss me with all that. I'm good, bro. Take that over there. We running that man, and I like what I saw from him tonight. And why can't he keep doing that? He definitely could do that. You don't think he's gonna be able to do that next week? Come on now, absolutely. That's what Najee is capable of, man. So let's get it going, man. Fair and Bradford gotta be the hottest team in December. Stop playing with us. I ain't miss you on that. And nah, bro, you absolutely right, because this is the situation, man. When you talk about the Steelers under Coach Tomlin, historically, this is when they get hot. November, December football. As a guy who's been in that room with him for 4 seasons, man, that's what he preaches. His whole mindset, even in training camp, is geared up for what? November and December. Everything is geared up for that, man. And this is why. Because when you got to be physical, when you got to execute under pressure, when you got to take your mind to that deep end and you question and everything because there's so many distractions, you still be locked in. This is why. And this is why a lot of us former players or even current people that, you know, have played for Coach Tomlin speak so highly of him, because this is how he gets you going. This is the mentality that he ingrains in you. And when it's this time of year, this is why those guys have constantly under Coach Tomlin been able to perform like this down the stretch, man. So shout out to him, shout out to this team. And like you said, man, they are the hottest team right now, man. They're very hot. I mean, in the sense of what they've been doing since the bye week, but that's what we've been saying that they could do. And it's just good to actually see it start to come together. And we're getting that help that we needed also. We are very much alive next week, okay, ladies and gentlemen? Everybody wanted to laugh when it was all playoff percentages, how much chance. We very much alive, okay? Jets, what happened? They took that L. Seahawks got it done. Let's go, Geno. They rolled him off. He ain't right back. Holla. All right. And then after that, Mac Jones took care of business up in New England. So we very much still alive going into this final week, man. And that's what we've been talking about. That's why you don't take. That's why you don't have no losing mentality, man. You keep fighting. You keep competing, because now we in a spot where we feeling good, man. And this is what it's supposed to be, man. So let's get it going. All right. Liberty Library Call. Shout out to you, baby. Shout out to you. KP8 is what he said, and that's all that needs to be said, baby. Because KP8 came out with that game winning drive. Man, listen, man, wifey laying down watching that game like, babe, he doing it, babe. He doing it. I think we might have us one, babe. She was looking like, I think he might. I'm like, yo, I think it's two. I'm for real. And then he hit that pass to Najee in the end zone. He was like, oh, throw the head of Schmurda one time. About a week ago. We just seen this about a week ago. Like, yo, it's crazy. But that's the KP8 effect, man. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And Wild West, I appreciate you shouting out my shoes. Yeah, man, I'm a little bit of a shoeaholic. But yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Might have to get me some victory shoes since my man KP8 did what he did tonight, too, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. And Jay Underrated, you right. Call them Saltimore, man, because they got big boy salty tears out there right now. They probably gonna be hollering about, oh, man, y'all cheated. Ref this, something, that. If Lamar was here. But he wasn't. He was on the sideline, so I don't want to hear it. Take that. Here we go, Steelers. Let's go. And Rod Dollar, yes, you're right, man. Happy birthday to my dog, TG. It was his birthday, or technically still is his birthday today. So, absolutely shout out to the homie, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. C-Daz86, he says, Pickett has that special gene. Hashtag clutch. Hashtag Najee. Hashtag defense. Hashtag Ratbird. Sit down. Ain't that the truth, C-Daz86, man? Holla at you, man. Let's go. Let's go, man. I'm telling you, baby. Just one of them nights right here, man. This is what we needed. Man, when everything started lining up in the day, it was just like, yo, we got to take care of business tonight. And no better way to do it than against the rivals. Oh, man, on the road in prime time? This how you start the new year off? Man, I'm loving it. Let's go. Mike Hood. Love Najee talking to them while he was running there. This is over. Yes, sir. Shout out to all. Tell TG he can get 2 first rounders now with the crying emojis. Yeah, you might be right. All right. You know what? His stock definitely did go up a little bit after this game, so his number might have went up a little bit. But still, we are not thinking about that right now. We are living for the moment, okay? And the moment is Najee's the bell cow, so we can keep riding that bell cow, baby. But, yeah, like I said, man, seeing that version of Najee where he's like talking smack, where he's pissed off, where he's like letting them know what it is. Like I said, I haven't seen that version of Najee too much, man. That's the version that I love. That's the version that can be scary, that can be intimidating. When you talk about a guy that's constantly falling forward, a guy that was showing a little bit of burst in terms of being able to jump in and out of the hole, explosiveness. That's what we saw tonight. That's what we can win with. If we keep getting that version, man, that's what it's designed for. So, hey, man, let's keep that thing rolling. But nah, man, 22 did his thing tonight, man. Definitely love that. Troy Mason Jr. He says our offensive line was dominant tonight. No, you're absolutely right. They were moving people. That was major. And I thought they played with violence, man. I seen one play, my dog Chooks. Holy smokes. Chooks out there headbutting the dude. I said, oh, yeah, they plumb crazy tonight. And that's how you got to play in these rivalry games, man. Sometimes, you got to take the gloves off and just get flat out just ignorant with them at times, man. And I thought, watching how they were just back and forth in every little thing, like not letting any little thing slide. I love that because in these type of games, that's what it comes down to. Who's going to show more of that competitiveness? Who's going to show more of that willingness to win and really just putting it on display and showing that not just what you're capable of doing, but what you're willing to actually do. And I thought that tonight, man, our offensive line was really showing that even though they weren't, always winning their matchups, they were still going to fight like son of a guns. And that was the beautiful part too. We know where they struggle at. Yeah, when it comes to one-on-one pass protection, man, they're going to get beat at times. And we saw that. But the one thing we did see from them also tonight was how much they would compete on every single run play, man. They diving at people. They trying to do whatever they can to keep those holes open. And that's what you want from them dudes up there, man. We know that they've been the biggest work in progress in terms of position groups. But, man, to see where they've come to from where they started at, man, it's a big-time salute to them, man. So, like I said, man, definitely like we saw from them dudes tonight, man. And then Troy Mason Jr. also says the best safety in the league, hashtag Minka. And Najee's best game as a pro by far. Let's freaking go. I'm with you, baby. I'm with you. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't know if I was being overreactive by saying that, man, I've never seen Najee play like this. But yeah, I do feel like that was Najee's best game. I don't know statistically if he's had a better game than, 22 for 111, 5 yards per tote and stuff like that. I don't know. But what I do know is the way that man was running today, yeah, that looked real. That looked real, man. And it was against a real live defense as well, man. You talk about that Baltimore Ravens defense, they do that. That's like their bread and butter, man, especially down the stretch too, man. So it was really impressive to see, them be able to run the ball the way that they did tonight as a whole against that type of unit. But it started from the beginning, man. They came off the gate, put up 198 on them. But I think it was in the first half, it was like 80-some yards, or no, they already had over 100 yards rushing as a team when I think this Ravens defense was only averaging like 80-something yards a game on the ground that they were allowing, man. So you could see where we were dominating and where we were trying to be intentional about that as well, man. So it was really good to see us executing that also. Farron Bradford says, runs heavy. LOL. Yeah, that's a little nod to the homie TG who was talking about his opinion of Najee Harris. He says, yeah, alright. And where them 22 haters from 6 weeks ago? It's cool. Stay under a rock. He do need to play at a lighter weight, though. I would agree with you on that, Farron. I mean, listen, if we drop him down 5, 10 pounds, man, I think he still remains that same powerful, big back. But I think it just gets a little bit more elusive, a little bit more explosive. I don't think it makes him overly faster, but it will give him enough of a step to make it just more scary when you factor the ability to run guys over with. And I think that it'll also just keep him being able to get stronger as the game progresses, because cardio-wise, when he's a little bit lighter, he's going to have even more burst, even more energy down the stretch, man. So I do like that thought process, and I'm sure Coach Tomlin, man, seeing him take that approach with the Le'Veon, seeing him take that approach, like I said, even with the D'Angelo Williams when he came over here, I already know that he's going to take, even James Conner, he took a similar approach with him there. So, man, even with that, man, this is going to be something I'm sure he's going to talk to Najee about in the offseason, man. But, yeah, if he keeps running like this, man, this is what we need from him. Kobe One Kenobi gaming. He says that Najee one-leg hurdle was crazy. Nah, facts, it was, bro. He was jumping through the hole. I seen the one joint where he, like, stiffed the one cat, sidestep around. I'm like, okay, Naj, and then get up and da 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 da. I'm like, all right, let's go, man. Let's go. All right, Richard Arbizo, he says, Rat Pack to start off the year. Debo mentality. Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got that Rat Bird Pack, please put that Rat Bird Pack up in the air one time. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That Rat Bird Pack definitely hit good. It's kind of like a hybrid, you know what I'm saying? But heavier on the indica side, low key. That's that Rat Bird Pack. Shout out to them boys. All right. Let's see who else we got popping up in this thing, man. I see y'all in here, man. Salute each and every one of y'all. Like I said, hit that like button, subscribe if y'all have not subscribed. But nah, man, this how it's supposed to be, man. When the guys win, man, this is what it's supposed to feel like, man. Especially in a game like that. Come on, man. Absolutely. The King Herc. How about that man, Mark Robinson? Man, 9-3? Come on, bro. I peeped that early. Yeah. So let's keep reading about it. It says, played well for a late-round rookie. A full offseason of coaching, he might become a valuable piece. Yeah, absolutely right. First off, when we talk 93, I think he has just a natural nose for the ball. When you watch him play from the inside linebacker position, he plays super fast versus the run. And part of that is because of his history as a running back. He sees it the way that they see it. When there are pulls coming around, he sees those guards happening right now. He plays very violent. You watch him when he's coming downhill, he's riding with bad intentions. Sometimes I'm like, man, I don't know if you're going to go to sleep, but they're going to go to sleep. But I just love that type of mentality because that's what you have to have when you're playing the inside linebacker spot. You can't second guess contact. You can't, be timid at times. You have to be violent, especially in a game versus the Ravens, because that's what they're on. And I thought that for him, he did an excellent job there. Now, could he clean it up? Absolutely. And it's stuff that, we'll talk about. I actually plan on doing a film session on him because he played so much tonight, man. He was out there early. But, for him, man, I thought they really good against the run. I thought that his tackling, it was still really good. I think he had, I think it was like one that he had. I think he might have missed on it. I'd have to see it again, like I said, when I get the all 22 and stuff like that. But I guess I was definitely impressed with him. But it was interesting because the way they did the rotation initially to start the game off, it was 41 in 93. Well, actually, 93 was the first one. They started out in that package that almost like a bare front, where it's all 6 down linemen, and kept 93 free to just kind of scrape side to side. But it was interesting because it was no 55 initially. 55 didn't come on until Miles Jack got hurt and obviously went out at halftime. But yeah, prior to that though, it was Spillane out that thing, and it was letting Mark Robinson, the young boy, really play, man. And it was good to see, number one, the trust that they had in him, because like I said, when it's a rookie, you never know what you're going to get with them, especially late in the year, critical games. But it was good to see him in his package be able to execute those calls and play fast. And then when he did get an expanded opportunity when Miles went out, and then that's when Devin started to come out there a little bit more, it was still good to see that 93 wasn't overwhelmed. So yeah, man, with the full offseason, man, I definitely think that he has potential because he's athletic as heck and he's violent as heck, and he already has a natural eye for the ball. In terms of me just watching him as a former linebacker, I think that he just has that natural feel for it. So yeah, man, I'm with you on 93, man. I like him a lot. All righty. Child of the Corn. Yo, Moats, regardless of our record, this might be one of the most enjoyable seasons I've ever witnessed as a Steelers fan. Awesome to see us grow God's plan. Now I'm with you, man, because the thing is this, man. It's when we're at the top, it's always a sweet feeling because, yeah, man, we're on top of this name. But at the same time, it doesn't have the same significance almost because you don't have that journey to go through. And that's what we talk about, like the bandwagon fans, like, oh, you only come for the good part. But for the people that do stick around through, those rough times, you can feel that connection. You can feel that investment. And now when you talk about, what we were looking at and what we were pissed off about in that Jets game and that Patriots game, and then to turn around and see how we were in that Eagles game, but then to come out of this thing and all the things that we were talking about, looking forward to, now we're finally seeing those things, and they're happening at critical moments. And now everybody's starting to recognize it. But for us who've been able to really go through that, it hits a little bit harder. And that's why we up here so hyped. That's why all of us up here so turned, because it's like, bro, let's be real, man. We die hard with this day, man. You ain't watching these games like that with all the struggles that they've had at times if you're not that type of committed, not that type of invested. So that's why to see them do what they were able to do tonight versus a team that has been winning, that has been hot. Even though they haven't had Lamar out there, they've still been winning. And it was good to just see us be able to knock them off and take care of a division foe on the road, hostile environment with a lot at stake still for us, man. So, like I said, man, salute them dudes out there, man. But that's what we wanted to see right there, man. That's what it was all about, baby. We got the homie G. Alexander Moats. What's up, baby? Wagwan. He says TG sleep, nausea, dog. Warren also. Small hands who? Thank you. Kenny, yeah, his hands just fun. All right, they NFL regulation. They ready for game-winning drives. We done seen back to back of them things. And verse, like I said, another quality opponent, baby. So hey, shout out to him. But nah, man, 30, Jaylen Warren, man, I'm loving what I'm saying for him, man. Absolutely, and obviously, we've had him on the show too, man. If you haven't checked that interview out, definitely check that one out as well, man. But with 30, man, he's one of those guys, man. I'm continuing to get impressed by him, by his durability, by his just continued productivity, whether it's in the running game, whether it's him as a receiver, or whether that's him in pass protection. He's just one of those guys that consistently shows up. He consistently produces. And I just love the fact that he's also, like I said, a dope storyline. When you talk about an undrafted dude, a guy that, wasn't even the quote unquote like big name of the free agent signings either. Remember, we had other guys, in the running back room that were priority free agents that were, getting a lot of talk and stuff like that. But to see, Jaylen have carved out a role the way that he has, and for it to be even this late in the season, him still just continue to expand that and continue to be productive. Nah, man, it's really dope to see that, man. So, big fan of 30, man. Big fan. All right, Q says, shout out the Bears for getting fleeced. And shout out to Mason Cole and James Daniels for being studs this season. Yeah, buddy. When you talk about Mason Cole and James Daniels, man, them dudes have been a godsend in the sense of just helping out from a health standpoint, from a productivity standpoint, and a consistency standpoint. Those two dudes, man, have really helped our offensive line and really been some of the calming forces throughout the process of everybody else getting on the same page. But when you talk about this group being the same starting group throughout the whole year and how rare that is, man, in terms of the health, in terms of the talent, them nobody, falling off and needing to get benched and nobody getting hurt to that extent. I mean, it's a reason why they've been able to keep growing and getting better. And that's a part of it, man. And, when you talk about Mason and James Daniels, those two dudes have been key contributors to that. So shout out to both of them dudes, man. And yeah, the Bears, yeah. Maybe down the line we'll look and we'll be like, you know what, they wanted. But right now it is not looking like that. Respectfully, of course. Yeah. Richard Arbizo. He says, wear as much Bills gear as you want this week. Don't you tempt me with a good time, baby. Now, you know me. Now, if anybody needs it, I got you, all right? Because I got to wear the Bills gear because we need the Bills to win this weekend, baby, all right? Well, first off, the Bills play tomorrow night. Shout out to them. But we know we need them to win next weekend. Got the Patriots, all right? They win. That helps Steelers get into the postseason, okay? So if I'm flagging on my Bills stuff, y'all already know what it is, all right? Shout out to Richard Arbizo who's giving y'all the heads up, okay? All right. Ozzy. Shout out to Ozzy and welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. And welcome to the family, baby. We greatly appreciate your support. Fan Bradford just simply says, Sims. Yeah, shout out to Steven Sims, man. Whether you're talking about him as a receiver, looking like Lil A. Man, shout out. I was about to call him Lil AB too, but shout out to Steven Sims as well, man. Another dude, we had a chance to talk to him earlier in the season, and he's another one of those stories, man. Just a guy that continues to scratch claw, get it off the mud, and whether you're talking about him where he was supposed to just be a special teams return man for us, but has actually carved a role out as our slot receiver, and our jet sweep guy. He continues to produce. Let me see what he ended with numbers-wise on the day. 3 catches, 34 yards. Obviously, at the 28-yard reception at the end of that thing, man, massive pickup right there. So, yeah, definitely love that. And then in terms of the return game, had the 1 kickoff return for 29 yards. But even this dude, man, you talk about his role. He just continues to stay around, continues to produce, continues to help this team out. And I like his little edge, too, man. He plays with a little feistiness, man, a little bit of that. He got that little chihuahua because he kind of small size, but he definitely got that in him. So I like that, man. Mark T36, hell of a win. I'm glad because I was going to say that's win or lose. Hashtag fire Canada. Running the ball down their throats and not one play action. You right, Mark T, man. We definitely should have ran some more play action. Jeez. Nah, but in all seriousness though, man, when we're running the ball like that, I don't think you got to get cute. I don't think any of that's necessary. With the way that Kenny was able to throw that ball when he needed to, 15 to 27, 168. Think that was good enough. But yeah, man, when you run that ball 41 times for $198, yeah, that's violent, man. That's rough. And for me, man, when they're able to do it like that, but situationally pass the way that they needed to, I'm cool with it, man. It's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be a high-scoring game, but I thought tonight that was one of those ones that we needed to be like that. We needed to be real physical with this team, man, and just make sure that we weren't going to let them off the hook with a turnover. And that, I think, was another reason why we didn't do a ton of play-action pass or a ton of just, airing it out, so to speak. But I mean, he threw the ball 27 times. Still a good amount of throws, baby. That's like that right perfect amount right there, man. So shout out to the homie, though, man. All right, we got Scrooge Greedy. He says KP 8 2 weeks in a row. Where the haters at? 918 Steelers Nation. Let's go. Yeah, I don't hear a lot of Steelers haters tonight, man. You know how it go, though. Space Talk is usually Steelers lovers. Because, man, when Space Talk is post-game, it's after midnight. Shout out to all my January 2nd people out there. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday to you. Only the diehards be up here for that. So, most of the Kenny haters, the Coach Tomlin haters, and even the Matt Canada non-supporters, they ain't gonna be up here like that tonight, man, because it's a feel-good night, man. We turned up to the max. So that's what we over here throwing parties for, man. KPA. We got a Coach Tomlin, we love you crowd, and we even got the Jet Sweep lovers over here too, man. I went over here and I put up on the Jet Sweep people. I'm with them now. I'm just throwing it out there. The Jet Sweep was too potent tonight for me not to respect the Jet Sweep. I'm sorry, okay? And then he had, like I said, the little Derek Watt, the little wild card. Come on, man. When that 4-4 hit, it's a wrap. Okay. All right. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Miguel Wood says, Kenny has no eyelids. Man, don't blink. Nah, bro. Ain't that the truth, man? He went in there and cut him off. He was out there like, I'm here. I'm not scared of nothing. There ain't nothing y'all can do. I don't care what pass rush you have. I don't care what blitz you have. It ain't gonna matter. It's not gonna stop me. And that's what the energy he had tonight, man. And that's what you want to see. That's literally what you're looking for, man. When you talk about some of the things that made Ben, it's those type of moments. When it's gotta happen, when all the chips are pushed to the middle of the table, can you execute under pressure? You can make them same throws in the first quarter and the second quarter. It does not matter if you can't do it in those type of moments. And to see him once again in a critical moment down the stretch, meaningful football, still being able to do that type of stuff, nah, man, love that. Love that. Big time salute to KP8 tonight, man. 828 style. 22 looked like the bus tonight. No, you were facts about that, man. He definitely did. And like I said, man, I love seeing him run like that, man. When he playing like that, Najee is tough to deal with, man. But that's the version of Najee that we want on a consistent basis. You know, when he's doing that type of stuff, running pissed off like he was tonight, that's tough to deal with for 4 quarters. Speaking from personal experience, big backs that run angry, man, you get tired of hitting them before they get tired of running angry. That's the situation. That's the reality of it, man. So for him, if he can keep doing that type of stuff, man, I think that that's going to be dope. Now, the question is, can he keep doing it? Because I don't think it's an ability. I think it's more of a mentality thing with him. And he has to come into these games with this type of mentality. But if he can just keep replicating that part, I think that we can get more performances like this, because there's no reason why we shouldn't have seen Najee have over 100 yards on the ground and average over 5 yards a carry multiple times this season. But we factor in the health part. We factor in the offensive line part. We factor in some of the schematic parts that were taking place, and I get it. But now it is good to see that we're starting to put together positive performances in the run game, and more importantly, positive performances from Najee Harris also, man. So absolutely, man. We got Russell Rodriguez. Oh, yeah, just showing a little love. Shout out to you, Russell. And we got Junior Gray. Junior Gray says TG needs to stop the hate. Stop the Najee hate / disrespect. He's the running back we need, especially KP8 needs. Oh, I can't wait to hear him when he comes on. Oh, yeah, baby. Wednesday, he back. He on Wednesday. We're going to holler at him. I need to know. All right, you know, we're going to talk some college football because them games yesterday, I don't know if y'all college football guys, but them games yesterday was nuts. But we definitely got to holler at TG about this Najee situation because Najee was on one. And I need answers. All right, so let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Stang Mang 21. I've been saying it. Tell TG and Deke. Thank you. Take Najee name out their mouth. Ha ha. Nah, but Najee is a different beast when he runs angry. That's the biggest difference, man. Najee, when he runs like tonight, he warrants a first-round draft pick. He checks off all the boxes that we want in terms of stealing football, in terms of helping Kenny out, in terms of all these things. When he doesn't run like that, that's when he gets the criticism, and that's, you know, why people feel the way that they feel about him at times. But, man, on a night like tonight, that is promising. And, like I said, for me, seeing it after what he did last week against the Raiders, man, and just seeing how this team continues to just build and build and build, even if it's not statistically a crazy number, to see just the intensity and the intentional angry running. But more importantly, I just love the chirping afterwards. When you chirping afterwards, that let me know you really pissed off. Because newsflash, when you start chirping, man, you get tired low key. That's when you're supposed to be catching your breath. So for you to be chirping, you really on some like, yo, I don't even care about getting my win back. I want to let you know how I feel right now. So when I was seeing that, I'm like, yo, let's go, Naj. Let's go, man. You really turned up tonight. But that's what we need, baby. That is what we need. Fun 6,000. He says we are 7-2 after the bye. Respect Tomlin. That's all we've been saying, baby. That's all we've been saying. Who the two we lost to, man? Cincinnati. We know what they are. And the other team was this punk tail Baltimore team. We had 3 turnovers in the red zone and we couldn't stop the run. So we know what we're capable of. We know what we're doing right now. And we've been trying to just let it develop. Just let it marinate. I know we all excited that we wanted to develop like this in week 2, but this wasn't going to happen in week 2. It took time. And it's good to see, though, that it is actually happening and coming together down the stretch. And we'll see what happens next week in terms of, you know, the Bills. Do they take care of business? And in terms of the Jets, do they take care of business? But either way, for us, man, we are stacking up so much momentum and building so much right now that whatever happens, man, this is what you want. But this is also why the mentality had to be what it was during those rough times, man. So shout out to them dudes, man. 7-2 after the bye. You right, fun 6,000. Let's go. Oh no, y'all telling me Deeks Freaky Bot, bro? Deeks Freaky Bots definitely pulled up for the space talk, man. Well, yeah, that's how y'all knew it was a turned up night, man. Y'all know we couldn't have a turned up night to the max without them freaky bots pulling up on us every once in a while. So let me go ahead and get Deeks' little homies up out of here. All right. There we go, freaky bots. Y'all must go. Y'all cannot stay here with us. I know y'all looking for a good time, but y'all can't hang with us, all right? Gots to go. Gots to go. Alrighty. Think we got them all up out of here now. Now we're good. So, back to this here celebration. This here fun night. This here victory space talk. Finally, we needed another one. And let's keep them things rolling. Russell Rodriguez, thanks for the draft. Oh, thanks for the Draft King. Oh, I got you now. I was tripping. He says, thanks for the Draft Kings link. Moats came up nice off our Steelers. Nah, salute you, man. Absolutely. Yeah, if anybody that, new to the DraftKings game, man, when you download the app, use promo code Moats, make that $5 deposit. You're going to get, $200 in free deposit bet money or deposit bonus money for you to use on another opportunity to make bets, to make wages, man. So shout out to DraftKings, man. Always love with them. 828 style. He says December football. No excuses, no explanations. You're absolutely right. That's what we love to see, baby. Staying Main 21. Shout out the Mark Robinson. He looked good. Shout out Jalen. The ball got spread around quickly. Finally, shout out to Mad America. Oh, man, why you got to give him to Mad America, man? I thought he earned that Canada tonight, man. I thought, man, we was all up here, old Canada, man. I felt good about it. Just was at that Pens game on Friday. Didn't win, but I was on my Canadian, so, shout out to Mad Canada, baby. He did his thing, man. You can't act like that jet sweep gonna hit in the night. That jet sweep said, when the jet sweep hit and the Derek White hit, you got to call him Mad Canada. That's all I'm saying. His mama named him Canada. I'm going to call him Canada. All right? Shout out to the homie, though. Shout out to you, Stain, man. 828 style. Oswell making me a little worried lately. Shaking my head. Yeah. It's a lot of us Boss supporters were trying to figure out what's been going on. Because, I was getting a little nervous, too. When he missed the one, and then he came back, and even when he hit the 51, I'm like, bro, you had me looking nervous with that one. Yeah, some people just say it was because Justin Tucker. I remember y'all was joking about it on the podcast. I ain't really want to put no stock in it, but y'all might be on to something, man. Because, he was definitely acting a little different tonight. I don't know. But he hit the ones that we need him to hit. So, in Boz we trust. Let's go. Mr. Creeps says, here we go. And says, love the content. Here we go. Let's get it. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the support from all of y'all tonight, actually. Autumn McCaddy. I'm really proud of the way we battled today. Kenny came up clutch for us. And I'm proud of the way we ran the football. Nearly 200 yards rushing. Love sick. No, you absolutely right. And you think about this team, right? One of our things that we've been frustrated with at times is our lack of productivity and lack of consistency in the running game. And a lot of the times it's been popcorn. Najee not hitting the hole. Offensive line not creating the hole. Bad play calling at times. Not being explosive enough in the passing game so teams don't have to respect it and they play extra crowded to the line of scrimmage. But it was just good to see how through all of that criticism that they've experienced at multiple times this year, and sometimes rightfully so, that they were able to put it together in a game where they had to have it, in a game where Baltimore is geared up to stop that, man. They know what it was. And for them not to be able to defend it and not be able to stop that for 4 quarters, man, it was just beautiful to see. So I'm right there with you, Autumn. Absolutely. Stan Clary says 9:30 a.m. for the show tomorrow. Arthur, yes, the podcast. We are in the morning tomorrow, all right? I got to hit the road. So, didn't want to leave y'all with no podcast. So we said, all right, we're going to bust them in the morning. We're going to hit you with a little wake and bake, all right? So 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, we will be in the saddle. Arthur Wants Experience with Deep Podcast, all right? So definitely tap in for that one, all right? So, man. Next up, who we got? Official Momentum. Shout out to the homie. He says, hey, Master Moats, what a game. Hashtag Cinderella story. Now, you're absolutely right. You see what we on. You see how this thing has been just perfectly getting drawn up for us. And it's like, okay, Could this happen? All right, check. Oh, could that happen? Okay, check. We got adversity. Even my Pitt and WU fans out there, it was a 13-9 going on for a little while too. I was like, oh, we checking every little storyline off. And then to get the KP8 dramatics to finish the game, come on, bro. This is just beautiful, man. Love what I saw across the board. So, yes, Cinderella story is very much real. 828 Style says, 93 reminds me of 94. LT, Law Dog, Lawrence Timmons. Yes, I can see that. I definitely can see that. And I agree. I can definitely see that, man. He says, hashtag, loving every bit of it. Now, I'm with you. Law Dog was that dude. Shout out to Lawrence Timmons, man. You know, that's my dude right there. Love LT, man. All right. Mike Hood. How was Warren undrafted? Dude needs a bag. Yeah, bro. I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, even it's crazy. He went undrafted coming out of college where he still was a dude at Oklahoma State, man. Even coming out of high school, remember we talked about him rushing for, I think it was like 3,000 yards his senior year, and still no offers like that. So I think he's one of those guys that just always overlooked, man, but that's what makes Jalen. He is one of those ultimate competitors, ultimate chip on the shoulder guy, and, you know, you could just see it reflected in his demeanor when he's on the field. And that's why, you know, we root for them type of dudes, man, because that's that underdog. That's that true just grittiness, that so to speak, the American dream. Let's go. So shout out to Jalen Warren right there, man. All right, we got Tyler Acuna just showing a low level support. Salute you too, baby. And we got Q. Moats, tell me you watched Jair Alexander send JJ to his room crying today during the Packers game. Nah, man, I like how Jair was playing against Justin, man. He brought that dog, that energy, that effort, man. And, you know, a lot of times we on defense, man, you got to have that mentality. And you can just see it. Man, Jair's one of them dudes, he going to talk. He gonna celebrate. He gonna get in your face. He's ultra athletic, and you know he gets beat sometimes, but he's one of them dudes, man. It was good, but it was more than just Jair. I know that's how they gonna roll with the narrative, but it was more than just him. But nah, he definitely did his day. No, salute him, man. And hey, man, shout out to the Packers, man. They got a big win. That look good for them, man. All right, Mark T 36. Not one though. One play action. Go for the kill shot, baby. I know he's not going anywhere, but it's too funny to say. Hashtag fire Canada. Hashtag team jet sweep. You keep that team jet sweep alive, baby. You keep that team jet sweep alive. But yeah, the play action pass, man. And the other thing that I thought of was this too. When you're talking about, you know, the running game, and yes, the play action pass, typically when you're running the ball as well as they are, typically you should be able to generate a positive play on a play action pass. But also, you do have to worry about the way the Baltimore's DNs were playing in terms of Justin Houston and Jason Pierre-Paul. Those dudes, they don't do a lot of crashing down the line of scrimmage. They're trying to get to the quarterback. They like to hunt that. So even when they're facing play action pass, think about it in this sense, man. When teams run play action pass against us, TJ and Alex Highsmith, how many times do you see them crashing down the line of scrimmage when they're the free defender, unblocked, right? They're going to get a TFL. A lot of teams don't play it like that, and that's why most blocking schemes don't block that backside DN or linebacker, because most of the time, that guy's shooting up the field to try to get a sack. We just are aggressive at second. We'll shoot that guy down there and say, hey, man, get that dive, and if it's play action, we'll react back to that. Baltimore, man, they're sending them dudes upfield, so part of me is like, man, I think that he was trying to protect Kenny from having that scenario of you turn your back to this thing, when you come out of it, you know, you got action right now, one you on a blind side or something like that, or just a free defender coming through, or even with some of the pressure that they were bringing as well. So, like I said, multiple reasons with that. Could he have still run it? Sure. But in terms of the thought process, in terms of why he may have not caught it, it's just a little bit of that. But, you know, either way, man, as long as they take care of business the way that they did and got the points they needed to do, you know, we're not going to over-criticize it, man. But I do feel what you're saying, though, 100% though. All right. Keith Barnaby. All right, Moats, cut the jokes. How far do you think we're going to get if we make it in the playoffs? Did somebody say playoffs? Somebody say playoffs? LOL, hashtag here we go. Stills Nation. Well, it all depends on who we got in that matchup, man. And it all depends on what type of team shows up. You know, if we show up with this pissed off nastiness, not turning the ball over, creating turnovers, being able to rush the passer, being able to run the ball, you know, who knows? Anything can happen. But I do think it depends on which version shows up. Still a little premature because we still got to beat the Cleveland Browns team. And I don't know if y'all watched the Browns game today, like I said, it wasn't overly impressive early on, but down the stretch they did start to figure out some stuff, put some stuff together, man. But they still have some issues in terms of their protection and stuff, and just receivers getting open. But that's like I said, man. We get in. I do think a matchup can happen, man. Where we'll see. But we also know the type of team that we're gonna be facing, in that first round. Whoever's that 2 seed, more than likely. So it's a Cincinnati. We ain't tripping on it. Kansas City, potentially. We ain't tripping on it. Or maybe a Buffalo. See what I'm saying? So we'll see. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right. We got Mike Lang. Shout out to Mike Lang. He says, Moats, I'm riding home with my sister. She a Ravens fan. Ew, your sister big, man. I know she big, man. Let's go. Give her a big boy shout out. I got you playing over the car speakers, man. Shout out to Mike Lang and his sister in the whip on the way back from the game that the Pittsburgh Steelers won. So just know, man, that's how we always do, man. Steeler Nation, let's get it. Hey, here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Oh. And then Sean Diddy 6 said Mark Robinson had a great game. Good to see him get some bump. Now I'm with you 100%, man, because I think we had talked about Mark. This would have been 3 games ago. I think it was in Carolina, maybe, where he was starting to get some opportunities. I think he played up like 7 to 10 snaps, and we were saying how he looked good in those moments, but we were questioning why they didn't expand him. And part of that was me also saying that, hey, man, we got to see just what he understands, because the further you expand him, the more opportunities he's going to have to either not just make plays, but also make mistakes that they could really compromise your defense. But it was good to see that even with the expanded role and how it's continued to expand over these past couple of weeks, that it wasn't too much for him, that it wasn't going to overwhelm him. And he was able to actually go out there and be a productive player tonight, man. So it was really good to see that. And I also think that, once again, I know people don't love him, but Robert Spillane, I think that him being out there with 93 at times helps him out, because Spillane is one of those guys that he just knows a ton of what this defense is going to ask and require. And I just think, man, when you're playing next to a player like that at times, it can just take that load off of you, man. But shout out to 93, though, man. I thought that, he definitely did some positive things tonight and really introduced himself in a positive way in terms of putting himself in this rivalry, man, and getting a taste of what that physicality and what that mentality and intensity has to be like going forward, man. So, like I said, man, big time salute on him. But as I look at the clock, it is 12:28. And it's been a vibe. And I've enjoyed it. I hope y'all have enjoyed it as well. So, like I said, man, we got the podcast, full podcast in the morning, 9:30 a.m. live. Definitely don't want to miss that right here on the channel, man. So definitely tap in. But hit that like button one more time, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all that was with me tonight. Stay safe out there. Hope y'all had a good new year. All right. And until next time, baby. Peace.